Effective Living offers life management group coaching. This is a great introductory option for those who are ready for guidance to structure your life in such a way where there is a harmonious balance between having enthusiasm for what you need to do, coupled with fulfillment of doing what you want to do. Join our group coaching program today to start creating a life you don't need to take a vacation from. More information about our group coaching program can be found at www.ricardomiller.com.
Can you believe it? It is day 17 of the first month of 2022. Hi, I'm Coach Ricardo Miller. This morning I woke up feeling so good, reviewing my notes for the group coaching session that I'll be having right after this live. Every morning, Monday through Fridays, I'm meeting with a group of people who have committed themselves to learning the principles of living life effectively. In a few days, we'll be hosting what I call Reinvent Yourself webinar. It's a reinventing training, equipping that's necessary for those who feel as though, you know what, I need to make some adjustments with my life. I need to make some. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Let me say it again. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You know, over the years, one of the things I've come to accept is that change is necessary. Yep, change is necessary. And if you have not learned how to embrace the necessary changes on your journey, you could find yourself stuck. Okay, there are a lot of people who are just underfulfilled because they have not maximized their potential. Oh, what a feeling it is to know that you have potential unlimited, but unfortunately, you're not maximizing that potential. I believe that we should be getting better with age. You heard me correctly. I believe that you should be getting better with age. And this year, I am reinventing myself. This year, I'm helping my coaching clients to reinvent themselves. I am working on making sure that as seasons changes, I'm changing as well. I need to change in appropriate model or in appropriate timeline with the changes that's occurring in our world. You were not created to be stuck. Nope, you were not created to be stuck. If you're tired of living below your full potential, you need to reinvent yourself. If you're feeling like, you know what, I don't like myself, I don't really appreciate what I'm bringing to the world, but I believe I have more to offer, then you need to reinvent yourself. Maybe you've been doing what you've been doing for a while, but it hasn't taken off. It has not taken off. You need to look into that. You need to look into that. And then sometimes it may not be that you need to change entirely, but you need to make some adjustments. Okay? I'm often impressed by certain mega brands and companies and corporations, and one of them has been McDonald's. Have you noticed McDonald's every 3 to 5 years? What are they doing? What are they doing? They're reinventing themselves. They realize that the playground is not as in demand as it were. As a matter of fact, Ronald McDonald has disappeared, or Ronald McDonald and friends are no longer around as we've been accustomed to, those who grew up in the time where Ronald McDonald. How many of y'all remember the Ronald McDonald and Friends? How many of y'all remember the clown? Huh? Where is the clown? You know what? McDonald's decided to change. McDonald's decided to reinvent itself. And Walmart is constantly learning how to reinvent itself so that it can survive the test of time. If you're going to live, thrive, and experience life to the fullest, for another decade, another 2 decades, another 3 decades, you need to get to the point where you reinvent yourself. You heard me correctly, where you make a commitment to make the necessary adjustments to ensure that you could be around for another decade. Come on, you know what? Your concept of thriving needs to be looked at. Your need to be engaged in your days, weeks, and months to come at a higher level needs to be looked at. And so a new season demands a new you. Let me say that again. A new season demands a new you. And so I'm going to be joined with some of my friends, and we're going to be talking about how do we reinvent ourselves? How do we rebrand ourselves? How do we structure our affairs? Because, for those of you that are parents, as your children grow, you have to reinvent yourself and engage at a different level of parenting. Okay, as your business adjusts itself, you have to now learn how to reinvent yourself to meet the demands of a growing business. As you age, you discover that you're not the same person that you used to be, and now you have to once again now reinvent yourself so that you can meet the demands of these changing times. Let me tell you something. I love to meet people who aren't afraid to take those necessary steps to getting the help to ensure that they are continuing to get better with age. That's what I'm about. If you're about getting better with age, let me tell you, you need to connect with me and my crew as we meet talking about reinventing yourself. It's all about equipping you. It's a one-night webinar training. It's digital, it's virtual, it's a space where you can actually come in, connect with us, grab a hold of the content no matter where you are in the world. Come on. We're not meeting in a convention center. We're not going to go ahead and meet in a school building. We're not going to go ahead and rent no facility. As a matter of fact, we're doing this digitally. We're doing this in a virtual space where no matter where you are. And you said, Ricardo, on that day, that Tuesday, January 25th, I am not available. I'm busy. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because you can even watch this on demand. You can go back and watch the sessions a week later. You can go back and watch the session 2 weeks later. But what I do know, this year, there are a number of people who are watching me. You got to get to the point where you say, I can't keep doing the same thing. I can't keep doing the same. I have to commit to doing something different because I want something different. Did you hear me? You got to commit to doing something different because you want something different. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bless those of you that register today. Only those of you that register today, I'm going to go ahead and bless you with a copy of my book, Effective Living. Okay, I'm going to bless you with a courtesy compliment copy of my book because you registered for the webinar. Now, here's the deal. You have to unlearn what you should have never learned in the beginning. You have to commit to now discovering the principles that you need to discover so that you can elevate your life. This book is a game changer. The webinar is going to be a game changer. Now you have to tell yourself, I'm about to be a game changer. I'm going to make the necessary adjustments to ensure that the rest of my life is the best of my life. My goal is to get better with age. What about you? My goal is to get better. Rather than making excuses, reinvent yourself. Oh, I'm too old. Reinvent yourself. Oh, the company is changing. Reinvent yourself. Oh, these children. Oh, my goodness, these children are frustrating me. You got to now become the parent that is capable of meeting the demands of children who are changing. There are teachers. You're an educator. You love teaching, but teaching is changing. You're a pastor and you love ministering the gospel of Jesus Christ, but how we deliver the message of the gospel is changing. And there are a lot of people, it's not that you're not going to win because you're not talented enough. You're talented, but you're stuck. Okay? You're talented and you're stuck. And you could be stuck because you're not making the appropriate changes in proportion to your potential in the time to which you're living in. That's a word for somebody. Go to my website, ricardomiller.com. Learn about the webinar. Register for the webinar. Go to the bookstore. Register for the webinar and say, Ricardo, I'm not missing this webinar. You say, well, I have your book already. Well, read the book again. But when you do register, we're going to send you a copy of this book. And here's the deal. If you're in the continent of the United States, we're going to send you a copy of this book. And what you can do is bless somebody with it. There are just too many people who are not living within their purpose. There are too many people who have not captured the idea that you should not merely exist. I have seen too many people who are just going through the motion. You never even utilize your degree to the fullest. Come on. You go to a job and you could see that you're becoming outdated and the company is moving on beyond your abilities and you're about to be replaced. Okay, come on. You're fighting change and yet change is continuing to happen and you're telling yourself, you know what, that's just not me and I'm a little old school and I'm not changing no more. Well, guess what? If you don't change, you'll stay stuck. And if you don't change, eventually you will be replaced. Okay? If you don't change, you're going to eventually be replaced. Go to my website, ricardomiller.com. This is going to be a virtual training. You could be anywhere in the world and participate in this. But for those of you in the continental United States, if you register this week, okay, no, register today. If you register today, I'm going to make sure to send you out a copy of this book, Effective Living. Now, I want to help you win, but you got to want to win. Okay? As much as I want to help you win, you got to want to win. And if you've been using terms like, I don't know what's going on around me, you're not accepting what's happening. If you're saying, well, I'm too old, you're setting yourself up to merely exist and allow time to pass you by. You are not created to be passed by. You are created to dominate. You are created to multiply. You are created to subdue. You are created, come on, in the image and the likeness of God. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Only you can stop you. Okay? In this season, only you can stop you. You got to tell yourself, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. If you're watching this and you're on that mission, say, I'm on a mission to maximize my potential. And that's going to demand that I change appropriately to ensure that my purpose and potential is maximizing the timeline to which I've been given. There are people who are suffering from depression, anxiety, and they're losing in so many areas of their lives because they're not reinventing themselves appropriately. You still have time. Why not learn how to use that time to the fullest so that life can be working for you and you don't just merely exist? Don't just watch other people go on and live an amazing life. You too can live an amazing life. You are responsible for the life you're creating. The next season of your life will be reflection of the decisions you make starting now. Your decisions are going to determine your destiny. Your life is not going to get better if the decisions you're making don't become better. You're never going to change if you're never willing. You're never going to embrace what the future has for you if you're not willing to change. And if you're not willing to change, the concept of reinventing yourself is something you may not want, and unfortunately will be the reason why you're left behind. You have a lot going for you. Learn to reinvent yourself at this upcoming webinar so that you can embrace the next season of your life at a higher level. I'm Coach Ricardo Miller, and I'm on a mission to help as many people win moving forward day by day in every way. I'm getting better. If you believe that for yourself as well, join me. Be a part of the webinar. It's going to be awesome. Don't forget, you are responsible for the decisions you make on a daily basis that's going to craft your life in you becoming the person that you were born to be. Bye-bye.